This is the Fiery Joker. Sonic 06.
Yeah, what a piece of history this game was. Sonic 06 was a game rushed to completion to coincide with a Sonic anniversary, and the fact it was rushed shows. This was a game so bad, even 8 years after its release, people still find more design flaws. Gamers will never ever stop mocking this game, which is really depressing because I feel this game could have been one of the greats. I mean, if you take a step back and look at Sonic 06 as a concept, it actually sounds rather interesting. Periodically throughout playing, I remember thinking, wow, that's actually a cool idea. Wow, that could have been really great if they put a little more care into it. I don't think it was the ideas that made Sonic 06 bad, well, most of them. It was the implementation. So here, I'm going to give a sort of how to fix Sonic 06, not just showcasing the problems, but also offering solutions, so maybe some aspiring game designers can know what to watch out for. Well, better get to two obvious ones out of the way first. Number one, fix all the bugs and glitches. This is a given. I can't really say how to do it as that's a programmer's job and I have no idea how that works, but it's an easily delegated task and part of the process of game design. As stated before, this game was rushed and corners were cut. Just a little longer in the testing phase would have made this experience a little more tolerable. And there would have been certainly less falling through objects. Number two, more intuitive level design. There are many things that Sonic 06 did wrong in this regard, but these are the highlights for me. The first being high precision platforming in a high speed section. I remember when game trailers posted the review of this game, they opened with this line: the best parts of the game are where you can put the controller down and watch Sonic do his thing, because actually touching the controller puts you at risk of death. And that's a perfect way to describe the issue. I can't tell you how many times I have died from just barely missing that rail that I would have actually landed on had I not touched the controller. Sonic Heroes also had this problem. Gamers like to feel in control, so they need a bit of leeway to fail. That way, they'll feel like their failure was their fault and not the game's. The second problem of the level design was surprise obstacles. This is the thing that hinders Sonic games in general. A lot of times in all Sonic games, you go so fast you can't see the trap until it's too late. It can be very frustrating to be charging super fast through a level and suddenly get hit and lose all your rings. Usually with modern Sonic games, it's an issue with the camera angle not properly warning you, but this can also be avoided by tweaking the levels so that gamers can be conditioned to expect certain obstacles during certain cues, or simply by virtue of the level design saying, we want you to do some non-speedy platforming right now. The final major level design problem was placing bottomless pits next to where the camera changes angles.
Don't do that. Ever.
Number 3, no hand-holding. I know this is a franchise aimed at the 9 to 12 demographic, but that's not an excuse to treat them like idiots while at the same time alienating and annoying longtime fans or others outside the demographic. Give us a little more credit. We can probably figure out how to destroy a creature if given a little time. We don't need the character spewing out, when X enemy does this, I should probably perform action Y. That's just annoying, insulting, and I don't think the voice actors appreciate that very much. Number 4, Elise. Elise is by far the worst character ever to be introduced to a Sonic game, and given that she was preceded by Omochao, Big the Cat, Charmy Bee, and Vector, that's saying something. I remember once describing Aeris from Final Fantasy VII as an uninteresting, useless, non-sequitur spewing MacGuffin character who only exists to advance the plot. Elise is worse. At least Aeris can fight and heal. Sort of. Anyways, back on track. This is an easy fix. Have Elise be active in the story. Have her be important in a way other than her just existing as a plot device. I'm not saying she's required to actually do battle alongside our stalwart heroes, since we already have a princess character in the story that does that.
Actually, that could make for some interesting interactions.
But anyways, there's some ways she can still contribute without being directly involved. She's supposed to be a princess, right? A leader / wise ruler in training / coming of age? Well, why not explore that? I'm sure there's something here we can use. She could solve disputes between characters, say overly cheesy yet inspiring speeches, etc. There's good framework for a character here. Take advantage of it. Number 5, tweak / remove the romance subplot. Sonic reached a new level of creepy when he locked lips with a human female, as if the Sonic fanbase's reputation couldn't get any worse.
This is a complete turn-off!
We can fix this in two ways. Either change her species to something a little more Sonic-esque, making the romance less creepy and awkward, or keeping Elise human and just axing the romance. I'm leaning more towards the first one, as having humans in the Sonic universe just creates a weird aesthetic dissonance.
Gosh, that's just creepy.
Number 6, change Silver's voice.
I won't give up!
By Scorn's crushing pimp hand, who the casted Silver?
That voice is so high-pitched and whiny. He's supposed to be someone who grew up in an apocalyptic future. Make him sound a little more battle-worn or broken. I always imagined him having a more sinister yet desperate undertone to his voice, like someone who's been through hell and will stop at nothing, even cold-blooded murder, for the sake of the world. Emphasize that! That's dramatic gold! Number 7, keep the sense of speed across all the main characters. Sonic is a franchise marketed on speed and the feeling of rapid progression. His whole gimmick is that he runs really, really fast. How do you wreck that sense? By forcing you to play as Shadow, who drives in molasses speed vehicles, and Silver, who runs ridiculously slow and is forced to stand still to do comment and telekinesis puzzles. Big no-no. The solution is this: have each character run and move at the same speed, but with a unique theme so as not to be redundant. For Sonic, have his obstacles require him to be more acrobatic, more jumping, running, give him more parkour-esque levels, like in Unleashed and Generations. I don't think I need to explain anything here. For Shadow, let him have Sonic speed, but have his obstacles be more combat-focused. Have him actually doing dirty work and fighting. Give him a gun or two. I personally didn't mind it in Shadow the Hedgehog, and it could create some interesting levels. And what the heck? Let's have 1 or 2 high-speed vehicle sections. He has a motorcycle, let him use that, and not that super slow Jeep that flips over all the time. And you know what? Let's go all the way. Why don't we put a gun on that too? That could be fun. For Silver, the easiest way to implement telekinesis in a video game is with puzzles. However, it's rather difficult to combine speed with puzzles. Maybe have his gameplay be more forced on creation and destruction of his routes, like gathering materials on the fly to get yourself past obstacles and destroying walls and buildings to get through. I mean, the Katamari games built an entire series out of this mechanic, why not here? As I've said before, Sonic 06 was a game with a ton of potential. With more attention to detail, more passion behind this project, and a little more time to do what the designers wanted to do, this would have easily been one of the best Sonic games out there. The pieces were there, they were just arranged clumsily.
I'm the Fire Joker, and I'm debating on whether or not to have a sign-off phrase for these rants. Nah.
Cut!